Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth. You have to go back to the roots. Go to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try to run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Subscribe now.
I remember the days, all those years ago that never fade away. And I remember your face when you hit the ground. I can recall the time and place on a midnight walk through the old streets, trying to turn back the clock to the days of old, back to the days when all the things we knew were made of gold. As the world moves on, time sings a song. In the old neighborhood, as the clock strikes one, the memory lives just as it stood, like a quiet dream. The shadows of that time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afrodamus Report. I'm your host, Afrodamus. It's been a minute, but I want to welcome all of you to another edition of the Afrodamus Report. As you guys know, it is February, and you know what that means. That is Black History Month. And, if you're new here, in case you don't know the traditions here at the channel, every year, we make sure we celebrate Black History Month at this channel. And, since, with Black History Month, we cannot find new inventors of stuff. And some people see a lot of stuff they don't know the history of. So that's where I come into play to help enlighten people to understand what Black History Month is all about and all the history. So today we're going to get into, talk about HBCUs, called historical Black colleges, universities, because we've heard a lot of people that have always been given the history of it, but they misrepresent it. And as you guys know, in history, when it comes to history, you always got to give credit where the credit is due and make sure people learn about, the people that actually did the job. And it doesn't matter who it is, but if you're going to talk about, let's say, an institution, invention, you make sure you give the full detail of it. And that's where Black History Month at this channel comes into play. And as you can see, it says HBCU News. Did FBA build any of the prominent HBCUs? So that's what this show is going to be about, because a lot of people count on understanding. They want to know what is going on, because you've got a lot of people today that call themselves FBA. They said they are foundational to America, which is great. And Nightingale, welcome to the show. The boy Chris, thank you. It's a good show here for the facts and knowledge you're speaking. Thank you. I would make sure the facts and real knowledge is shared on here today, and everything is backed up, by the way. So there are people, like they call themselves foundational Black American. That they said that's what they are, and some of them are sometimes they are confused by history, and I'm surprised they are not even celebrating Black History Month. What kind of foundational blacks are they? Ever since Trump came, now they are afraid of celebrating Black History Month. But, we would celebrate it here. So, as you guys know, one of our most popular, you know, um, African men, Kwame Nkrumah, a Pan Africanist, first president of Ghana, he attended one of the, you know, um, HBCUs called Lincoln University. So I'm going to, talk about Lincoln University, who founded and built Lincoln University. I'm going to touch on that. And we're going to talk about another most popular one, Howard University, the one that, Kamala went to. You guys know Kamala, right? Well, for those of you who don't know who Kamala is, let me show you, just a short clip of who Kamala is, the former vice president. But since, I can't assume everyone knows who she is. Here's former Vice President Kamala. Here we go.
Poor hubby. Poor hubby. Nah.
That's right. That's former Vice President Kamala. But here, every year before we start with, Black History Month, whatever topic we're going to talk about, we have a soundtrack for it. As you guys know, there is a soundtrack. So it is tradition. We have to always follow the tradition. And before I get into the breakdown, so let me give you, the Black History Month soundtrack here. All right, all right. So I mean, all of you have probably heard some of the so-called, foundational blacks. You know, um, some have even claimed that they are natives, native Indians. So if you are one of those, this one is not for you; it's for the actual blacks. Okay, maybe you can go celebrate, native Indian, history. So you guys have heard some of the, the leader, their leader, Tariq Nasheed, talk about, oh, and people like even O'Shea and then the rest of their followers repeat the same thing time and time again. And, it's okay because they want to use it as trying to one up Africans, but they don't even know the history of these HBCUs. So I was waiting for the appropriate time, which is Black History Month. Hopefully, they can learn, and also, every single time that they try to use this, know that they don't even know the history of it. So they said, oh, Africans go to our HBCUs that we built. They said they built it. They said they found it and built it. So today we're going to find out if, in fact, they built it, who built it, what it was all about. Because for me, I was curious. It's about common sense. This is not a diss on anyone, but it's just using your common sense. Because if a group of people, if a group of people from different parts of Africa were brought here into America and, were in plantations for over 250 years. um, under masters, and they are working in plantations. It makes sense, not to expect that they cannot just walk right out of that plantation and create institutions, because those slaves weren't even allowed to read, right? So you cannot expect them to do that. But in every society, every situation, there are good people there, people who connect with their uh, spiritual side, where they want to do good things. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong in acknowledging and understanding that. So we're going to look at the history of Howard University. Let's begin with Howard University. Okay. So uh, let's see. Who is the founder of Howard University? The most popular uh, Black school. So I'm gonna show you, who the founder of Howard University is. So right here on the thumbnail. So it says Howard University was founded in 1867 in Washington, D.C. Primarily, you notice the word primarily? It was primarily found by General Oliver Otis Howard. General Oliver Howard is a white man. He fought in the Civil War. He's a Civil War hero, commissioner of the Freedmen's Bureau. While named after him, it was established by 10 members of the First Congressional Society of Washington and chartered by Congress to educate Black Americans. You notice that? So Howard University was founded by a Civil War hero, a white man, as you can see here, because during Lincoln's time, they had a civil war, and that civil war freed the Blacks, helped free the Blacks. So General Oliver Otis here was a Civil War hero. So he fought really hard, to establish this education institution for Blacks. So let me see here. He says, will you do a live about the Russian dude in Africa who went viral? Yes, I will. Someone sent me the video, but that's not the topic here. Let's focus on Black History Month. This is very, very important, okay? There are a lot of people who would love to get this information. Let's not derail from it. Let's focus on, this topic, because this is very, very important. And, Africans that are listening as well, and everyone, now you learned that General Oliver is a white man, and there's nothing wrong with it. And it makes sense for the white people at the time to build this institution to educate the Blacks, because the Blacks couldn't read or write at the time. So you even look at the curriculum and everything, the buildings, that was all built and set up by white people. You know how, like in Africa, right? Even in Africa, how those mission schools, like the European Christians, they went to different places. That's how it used to be. And they built schools. In fact, myself, the high school I attended was built by, white missionaries, great education there. And it was a beautiful environment to be in. So I'm guessing at the time, General Oliver, like all the other white people from the North that fought to free the Blacks, because they're like, we cannot sit around and just allow, other humans to continue to be enslaved. So they are driven by their, conscience. to make sure that happened. But someone like him, he took it further. He said, we don't just only want the blacks to be free, because a man who isn't educated, who isn't free mentally, a man who cannot read is still a slave, because you cannot navigate your own world. So he stepped up. That's how Howard University came about. So key details here. Let's do the key details. Founder, namesake, General Oliver Otis Howard, a Union general, was instrumental in founding the school and was a key figure in the Freedmen's Bureau. So as you can see here in the chat, someone named Nat Turner. Here's what Nat Turner wrote. He said, those slave owners got all their money from the slaves to build anything. Slavery of FBA freedman lineage Americans was the economic engine of what is now called USA. So you notice Nat Turner liked to use the word freedman. So Nat Turner, now you know the founder of even this freedman word that you are using. So General Oliver Howard is a key figure in finding the Freedmen's Bureau, what you call the Freedmen's Bureau at the time. Establishment. The university was chartered by Congress on March 2nd, 1867. At the time, Congress, as you guys know, they were all white. One might say, oh, they were white supremacists, but it was the white supremacists that made sure they passed this. The purpose, here's the purpose, founded with a mission to provide education, particularly for newly freed slaves, training doctors, teachers, and ministers. Makes sense. Originally envisioned by members of First Congressional Society of Washington, D.C. as a theological seminary, it expanded to include comprehensive university with classes for all races. Yeah, so as you can see, back then, America was a real, truly Christian country, because the country was founded on Christianity. So the school at the time, they were training people, it's school of theology on religion, because that was pretty big. They taught them science, and whole host of subjects that you are seeing today. So now let us go to Lincoln University, so you guys can see General Oliver Otis, despite what people try to tell you, oh, all the white people were against us, they are white supremacists. Obviously, you can see, if it wasn't, if the white didn't free the blacks wouldn't be free today. So that's just a fact, right? So let's go to Lincoln University. Lincoln University that was attended by Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah attended this school because if you look at it, at the time, this was in the 40s. In the 40s, he came to America. And, because there was segregation, but just like, what this school was founded on, it was other white people who said, oh, no. We want to educate the blacks. We want every black to be educated. So that means even blacks from Africa, if they were able to get here, they can go to the, these schools that are called, historical black colleges, right? Just because the name black there doesn't mean the blacks found it and built it. No. It was built to help blacks. So let me show you Kwame Nkrumah. If those of you who don't know who Kwame Nkrumah is, this is Kwame Nkrumah here. This man. So you see, Kwame Nkrumah, like a lot of the people that say, do you know, he, how did Kwame Nkrumah come here? Or they would say, oh, Kwame Nkrumah was inspired by Malcolm X. That this is in fact not true. Do you guys see here? Kwame Nkrumah is way his time was before Malcolm X or Martin Luther King. You see it here? So Kwame Nkrumah was the president of Ghana. He in 1957. 1957. So, like his early life, Kwame Nkrumah was born in 1909. So this is not 1992, 1909. In the east of Ghana, it used to be called Gold Coast, from a small village, Ninzema. That's what it's called. So, long story short, as you can see here, Kwame Nkrumah, during his years, Kwame Nkrumah came to the United States. He was he was known as Francis Nia Kofi Nkrumah. Kofi being the Akan name given to males born on Fridays. He later changed his name to Kwame Nkrumah in 1945 in the UK. So Kwame Nkrumah didn't only go to school in the United States. He went to school in the UK too. So the years he was in Lincoln University, let's see. He was in Lincoln University back in the early 40s. In the early 40s, he was in Lincoln University. At the time, because how some of the FBAs like to say, oh, Africans didn't start coming here till the 60s. So you see it, that is in fact not true. And also, they like to tell you that, oh, we educated the Africans. On what subject and at what schools? So guys, please make sure you hit the like here. FBA Young Lion said, HBCUs were founded with contributions from both Black Americans and white allies, but their purpose, leadership, and long-term development were overwhelmingly shaped and sustained by Black communities. FBA Young Lion, I'm about to debunk that here, which I'm debunking, which is a fact, right? So where would the Blacks have gotten the funds from? That's the question. They couldn't. There was, these people, they were enslaved. They didn't have anything. I know you don't want to hear that, but look at the years when these, schools were created. Majority of Blacks were still enslaved because this was in the East Coast. So now let's check out the history of Lincoln University, the school that Kwame Nkrumah attended. Oh man, this is a beautiful Black History Month. Guys, hit the like, to show that you're definitely enjoying, this, beautiful lesson, in Black History Month 2026. So let's check out. So Lincoln University, the overview. I'm going to give you the overview here. Lincoln University in Pennsylvania, the first degree granting historically Black college and university, was founded in 1854. Do you guys hear that? 1854. So for the FBA Young Lions, 1854, slavery was still in place. It wasn't abolished, by the way. It was one of those eras when if you can escape, because there used to be slaves that can escape from the fields in the South. In case you haven't read about what's his name, Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass was a slave, was born a slave He escaped slavery and came to the East Coast, New York and Pennsylvania. Okay. Um, you can read his book, Up from Slavery. Talks about the Chesapeake Bay and, what his life was all about. So during this time, slavery was still legal in the South. So, but if you can escape the plantation and make it to Pennsylvania or New York, you are free. Unless, because back then, even the plantation owners have formed where they can, send people. They pay people who would like find some of their slaves and kidnap them and bring them back. But it was illegal to do that back then. So now let's see. Lincoln University, as you can see here, was founded in 1854 by Presbyterian minister Reverend John Miller Dickey and his wife, Sarah Emlyn Christen. So, as you guys know, in the name itself, Reverend, it was a Christian reverend, a Presbyterian, a white man that founded this school with his wife. Originally named the Ashmun Institute. It was established to provide education to African American youth. So this Reverend Dickey, set up a school, to help, because back then, so the slaves that would escape to make it to the East Coast, because this school is in Pennsylvania. So the man being a reverend, he was taking in people. So it was sort of like the slaves that were escaping, they were refugees, pretty much, because they are escaping their master. They didn't have anything. So it's like a refugee escaping, a war zone. So he was rescuing them, to educate them. That's how it all started, because education is power. And Lincoln University was originally named the Ashmun Institute. It was established to provide education to, Black youths, as you can see. Key details regarding the founders of Lincoln University. John Miller Dickey. John Miller Dickey is the founder of Lincoln University. It used to be called Ashmun Institute in 1854. A Presbyterian minister and graduate of Princeton Theological Seminary, who thought to create a school for Black education after experiencing difficulty finding schools for a freedman, James Amos, to study ministry. So he was trying to help, a freed slave named John Amos. So because John Amos was a dedicated Christian, he wanted to become a clergyman, meaning a reverend. So he had to go to school to that. But since he was on, Reverend Dickey was trying to help him, but he had a hard time finding a school that would take him, because back then, for Blacks to mix into other schools, it wasn't allowed. But Reverend Dickey, being a man of God and dedicated, I mean, guys, imagine this. Like you try to find a school to help, let's say, even like today's day and age. If they say, okay, refugees are not allowed to attend school with everyone, but one individual is like, nah, man, I gotta help this refugee. And he didn't only stop to teach this refugee in his living room. He said, in fact, I'm going to create an entire institute. So let's continue here. Guys, give the stream a thumbs up. Let me know that you are enjoying the live stream. Okay. So as you can see, John Amos, was a freedman, as they used to call them. If you make it out of the plantation and make it to Pennsylvania or New York, you are free. So they were called the freedmen. So as I said earlier, they eventually created the Freedman Bureau. The white people created that for the blacks. So Sarah Emmeline Cresson, wife of John Miller Dickey, who along her husband played a key role in the founding of the institution. Location and name: founded in Chester County. The school is in Chester County, Pennsylvania. The school was renamed. They renamed it Lincoln University in 1866, following the death of President Lincoln. As you know, President Lincoln was assassinated in 1866 after the Emancipation Proclamation. So the purpose of the institute was designed to provide a classical, scientific, and theological education for blacks. So Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana, went to Lincoln University, as you guys can see. Let me read this super chat here. FBA Young Lion, thank you for the super chat. He said, research these schools, founders and leaders: Wilberforce University, Shaw University, Cheney University, Fisk University. Stop being lazy, sir. Oh, thank you. Well, we're still in Black History Month. Thank you for suggesting more schools. I would try to find time and not be lazy, but thank you for suggesting some of these schools. Okay. And I'm aware of these schools, but the most popular ones, especially Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana, attended this. So this school, and you've seen some of the FBAs like to say, oh, we educated Kwame Nkrumah. Did you? No, you did not. But thank you for the suggestion. Nat Turner said, where the hell did you think those white slave owners got their money and labor? So yes, we FBA did finance and physically build the institution. Common knowledge in my FBA community. Nat Turner, what are you talking about? Nat Turner, it's okay if the white man built it, just like they built America. It's all right. There's no need to, be upset about that. Give credit where credit is due. In fact, I would like to hear from the audience. I'm going to put the link in the chat because some of you might, it looks like some of you might want to, contribute to what you've learned here today. Monkey Life said, I love the white man. Yeah, you gotta, what's the purpose of it? So, that's the history of Lincoln and Howard University. Some of you are, especially if you're shocked by what you've learned here today, feel free to hit the link. The link is in the chat. Come in and give your testimony of what you are hearing right here at the Afridamus Report. What you've learned today. Are you surprised? Because in the name it says Historical Black College. So since FBA Young Lion suggested Fisk, let's see the founder of Fisk University here. Let's see. Let's see. All right. So the Fisk University was founded in 1865 in Nashville by John Ogden, the Reverend. All right. So F, FBA Young Lion. I know you probably also probably got one of those FBA histories. Let me break it to you. I hate to tell you, Fisk also was founded by, guess who? White people. Yeah, it was also founded by white people. I mean, it makes sense. 1865. I mean, back then, this, you know, uh, yeah, back then, blacks were just coming from slavery, So the university was named in honor of General Clinton B. Fisk of the Tennessee Freedmen's Bureau, who helped secure the the former Union Army barracks for the school's location. Okay, so um, let me show you, because you might think, oh, Afredamus is just making it up. Let me show you what the founder of Fisk University looks like. Okay, you see that? That's him right there. That's the founder, Clinton B. Fisk. So, yes, the white man did it all. That's not me saying it. This is what happened. Okay. so yeah, I mean, it's history. He said Krumah attended Lincoln University. A black founded HBCU was taught by a mix of black and white American faculty, though the institution itself was rooted in black leadership. All right. Nightingale, Clinton Fisk is not mixed. Clinton Fisk is 100% white. If he's mixed, he would be mixed with native Indian, definitely not black. I think we all saw him. Let me show you guys what General Clinton Fisk looks like. You see that? You see him? Yeah. He's definitely not black. That much we know. Yeah. So, all right, we got Kedo in the house. Kedo, call back in. It looks like you were dropped. So yeah, the link is in the chat. Kedo said the same way Kala like to say the civilized. We civilized the natives in Liberia. In Liberia, when it was their master civilization that they brought here. Oh my goodness. Clinton Fisk didn't found the school. He donated out of appreciation. They named the school after him. Well, FBA Young Lion is in front of me. I'm reading it. That's not what it said. Kedo, welcome to the Afredamus report.
Yeah, thanks for welcoming me, Afridamus.
Yes, Kedo, thank you for celebrating Black History Month with us here. Kedo, are you shocked by what you are learning about, historical Black colleges and the founders of it?
I'm not really shocked about it. And it's not like a hate towards FBA, but I noticed that a lot of FBA they choose their ego over the truth. That's the problem. It's good. All that matters is facts, is statistics. And anybody for that matter that want to show how, like that want to be great or that want to do big things, they should care about the truth and they should develop on it. There's this statement I always give about. I said, if I should like become any political figure tomorrow, whether in my country or in America or anywhere else in the world, the statement I would give is truth before glory. Because if you don't put truth before glory, you are going to develop a fake glory. And when you develop a fake glory tomorrow, you will have shame. Because when people discover that everything about you have been fake, then people will lose respect for you and will be bad. So I suggest the FBAs, they should humble themselves, because humility pays. And humility is good to humble yourself. And then when you humble
Well,
yourself, you will be
well,
lifted.
well, Kedo, some don't know. So this is why they have to come here at the Afridamus University and learn about the real history.
Yeah, that's why I always applaud you. I say that I'm grateful for your show. Your show is not just teaching Africans on the continent of Africa. It's also teaching some FBAs and making some of them who have been fed a lie all their life to have this sort of, like foolish ego, like to come to the truth. Because sometimes, if you do not know the truth, sometimes, that's one of the things I bring about pride, is when you do not know the truth. When like when you know lie for a long time, you get entitled. You begin to feel that you are entitled to something. You develop pride. So the truth that what you are doing is very good. Yeah, yeah, I must applaud you for that. Yes, what you're doing is very good. I just came here to tell FBAs to choose the truth over their ego. Yes, because if you continue to go over your ego, you bring shame to yourself all the time. And it's not really about I know it's not I'm not really FBA are a separate group by themselves, and it's not like I'm trying to go and win FBA souls like that. No, anybody that choose to go the negative side, even though they know what is true, is that's their business. I'm just here to say the truth to those who don't know the truth. So I said those who don't know the truth, what I'm trying to say is those who are not FBAs, other black Americans are not FBA, and other black that's why are not FBA that don't know the truth, and some FBA who became FBA because they don't know the truth, so that they should know what they are into. It's not that I'm trying to invade their spaces to make them to disturb them to join us. No, but I'm one of those Africans who know my values, so I'm not moving around with low self-esteem trying to make you to join me, because I know who I am, and I know very well that there are a lot of Africans that are more educated and more civilized than a lot of FBAs. Yes, I'm not trying to force you to come into our space like that. I'm just trying to give the truth to those who don't know the truth.
Thank you. Let's bring in Xantia Grunwald. Xantia, what do you want to add onto this? What did you learn from
Guys,
real history here?
Afridamus, can you hear me?
Yes.
Because I'm not familiar with the technology and so forth. But
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from South Africa, Cape
South
Town.
Africa, Cape Town. Welcome to the Afridamus Report and celebrating Black History Month with us.
My brother, I belong to the population of South Africa, the mixed race. No?
Okay. They called you guys the colored?
Coloreds, yes.
Colors. All right.
I'd love to share this with you in order, and it takes bravery to admit our, let's say, not really shortcomings as such, but it takes bravery to accept who we are and what we are. And with that knowledge, you can decide as to whether I'm going to improve myself or whether I'm going to stay where I am.
Right.
And as you guys are aware of what is happening in this South Africa of us, I am of the opinion that we are such an example of what the reality is on the Africa continent and what is happening around the world as such. But my brother, let me not talk that too much, but I just want to ask you, there's a guy with a video, with a YouTube channel, Bantu City Diaries.
Uh-huh.
Great continent, great perspective on our continent. Can be offending if one doesn't have introspection And then there's another guy in America. He's from Kenya originally. Maybe you guys came across him. His name is Frank Zano.
Yes,
Also,
we've talked
yeah,
talked about Zanu here, used some of his videos. So yeah,
okay. But my last contribution is that I told you from which population group I am.
yeah,
But you know, my concern with my people, let's say from where we as this population group originates from. We are must now a mix of all who came here and who had been here on the continent. But I'm not very fond of the word black as such, because I believe that the people on the continent didn't even look at them as being different in complexion as such. So
right.
so I'm not fond of, you know, referring to us as, you know, in the form of a color. But
In like ethnic
if
groups,
we
right?
yeah, if we only realize what we do have, what we are able to achieve, and from where we can get, let me say, the assistance to evolve or improve ourselves if we do want so.
So what did you
We
new information did you gather from this history that I'm presenting here today?
know, as I've been also curious about, you know, why is our continent like this? Why are we like that? Why is it the case that this colonialism and new colonialism and what? So I started scrolling, you know, on the YouTubes, and I came across you, and I came across Zanu and so forth, in order, you know, to equip myself with knowledge. And with
Yes.
you, as I say, I just admire your bravery, because coming out with such controversial, let me not say opinions, but truths, it takes bravery. It takes bravery.
Yeah, I'm here to enlighten the people.
Yeah.
Yes, let's bring
Yes.
in
And
civilized man too. Thank you, Xantia.
thank you. Keep
Civilized,
well. Keep well.
thank you. You're right. Civilized man, you got the floor. Civilized man, happy Black History Month. And what did you learn from this beautiful history that I just shared here today?
Okay, happy Black History Month to you too. And
Yes.
greetings to everyone on the panel and in the chat.
Oh, and civilized man, you're calling from South Africa, right?
Yes.
Oh man, I gotta do the shows around this time so South Africans can call in. So this is a good time for you guys. All right, go ahead. Are
Yeah,
you
like
shocked by what you've learned from that the historical Black colleges and universities were all created and built by white people? Not all of them.
it's something that I've
Majority.
always it's not all of them.
Well, I mean the most important ones.
Which ones were built by the blacks?
I mean the Tuskegee was the Tuskegee Institute, that one for sure. But where's the Tuskegee now? We don't hear
Okay.
about it. But this one's built by white people, sophisticated, but continue.
Oh, okay.
Are you there? Are you there? Oh man, we lost you. Let's bring in Ola. Ola, welcome to the Afridamus Report.
Thank you, Afrodamo. I was just
Hola,
still listening, following you. I didn't
hola. Oh, you
start
did.
from the beginning.
Oh, you missed it.
Oh yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I'm
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Oh,
I just want to know what is going on.
well, doing the history, Black History Month, how like the FBA, they always tell Africans that, oh, we educated Kwame Nkrumah and some of your leaders. So these Black history, historical Black universities, I'm showing the founders. So, they were created and built by white people. Are you surprised by that? Actually, let's allow civilized man to finish
No,
up. Then you can,
no. Let it
we
go.
can,
Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead, civilized man.
Oh yeah. Kidola, let me finish. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not shocked. It's something that I've always suspected. Like, there's no way the blacks could have built universities by themselves. So now I just needed someone to kind of like confirm it. So, given that this is the case, I now have to ask a second question. If it wasn't their idea to build these universities in the first place, so I wonder how do I say this? How up to date the curriculum is at these universities.
Yes,
Like,
I
generally
touched
when
on
blacks
that
are
too.
given,
What could be the curriculum? See, you're a smart man. You're thinking.
so general when the blacks are given like something that is white, a white neighborhood school, it generally either stays where it is or declines. So I then have to ask about these universities. Like, are they still stuck in the 1940s in their curriculum?
Oh no, they didn't
Especially given that
see,
when it comes
the
to universities,
whites continue to run it, so that's why it's still going.
up to today. But what about the people who teach at these schools? Are they white or black?
Well, majority is white.
So these guys, not only did they not build it, they don't even run them.
Except maybe in the Africana Study Department.
Damn, that's worse than I thought. At least here in South Africa, like we do have something similar to that. And if you go to those universities, the lecturers are black.
Yeah. Yeah, the Africana, like that made up stories. Yeah, those are the classes where you go to get woke.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. I mean, you keep going in and out. We would have to send you to one of these black historical colleges so your technology can be good. Let's bring in Ola. Ola.
Yeah.
Ola.
Thank you, Abudamo.
Yes, Ola.
Yes.
Well,
Thank you, bro.
Ola, you enjoying this Black History Month history on the universities? Because I'm sure, Ola, you've heard people say to you, we Kwame, your African leaders, we brought them to our colleges and taught them. So now you know the history and the founders.
Yes. What I began to start seeing now, and I get your picture.
Yes. So now you see
My
the pictures of do they look black to you?
no. Why we said I told you already. My father went to for Tallahassee, right? He went to
Yeah.
farm, Florida AM Agricultural National University, right?
Right.
In my father's album, this is inside 70s already, right?
Right.
It's all white professors. This white professor, due to that, my father went to then in Nigeria, inside during his time, I think their secondary school is up to standard 3. So when he came, he did what called diploma. After a diploma, and this will all be assisted by the white men. After his diploma, that's when he really went to the real university. Then, if you check his lecturers, they're all full of white men. You understand me? White men. We check suit. I can still remember their pictures, what they were wearing, and everything, right? Some of them have what called velvet suit with a brown patch by the elbow. Those were the things that was raining then, you know. And my father also dressed similar like them also. So these are the white men that passed knowledge to my father, what we call to become in education. You know, in education. My father attended that school up to PhD degree. You know, without a PhD.
Hold on. Hey, Natona, your device is not connecting. I don't know what you're using. You might want to fix that. I see you in the back, but it's saying your device is not connecting. Fix that so I'll be able to, you know, pull you up. I think you gotta do some changes in your settings. So try to come back in, fix that. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Afridamus. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Before Kidola continues, could I get an answer to my question earlier? Like before I cut off, like what was your response?
Okay, yeah, make it quick so Ola can get the chance. What's going on there? Are you on that Ramaphosa?
Oh, no, I'm asking
network?
like Eli. You can't hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, we hear you now. Are you on the Ramaphosa network or the Malema network?
I'm using my Wi-Fi here.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah, like earlier, like when I cut off, I didn't hear your response to my statement. Could you maybe just repeat it?
Which one?
What was I asking? It was what was it?
We'll get back to it. We'll get back to it. Just hang tight. Allow Ola to finish up. We'll get back to you. Go ahead, Ola.
So when that said that's work of Black University, in my mind, I was already saying that how can Black people who don't have economical power actually build a university? You know what I mean? And for you to have a university, you must have to have what we call educational background. How to pass knowledge or develop knowledge or brought people there to get knowledge, you know, in this kind of called administration, how to run the school. So you have people that have experience of it, been taught for years, and these people have taught other people for years also in every aspect. So I didn't able to ask my father actually who owns the university. I don't know, okay, went to university. And then when they said Africans that they educating us in this university, my father did go to that university for free. You see, when these white people established university, primarily from foreigners to come to these schools, it was not actually made because of Black America. You see, they want to make money. And making money, they're not Africans. And they want to bring African students to all these schools. You have to understand, when they start saying, oh, we brought you here to our school to educate you. Russia started it first. Soviet Union. It was early 60s that Africa started going to Soviet Union to study medicine, things that old African medical doctors are from Soviet Union, Yugoslavia, or Soviet Union. So in the 70s already, when I tell these Black Americans, if you go to most embassies
there you are. Okay, much better.
Okay, okay, if you go to most of these embassies in Nigeria at that time, especially the American embassy and the British embassy and the German embassy. I think German was just coming out of Second World War at that time. They were ringing bell. You know, then you have to advertise your country. Visit Germany. Visit. They will put a Black person by these gates and these friends there. They start advertising their country because they know Africans at that time were doing pretty well. So that's how my father gets scholarship from Nigeria government. It was sponsored by the Nigeria government at that time. A man called Gawan, then be taken over by Mulitala Muhammad. You understand me? That's how my father studied in United States. It was never for free. He did go. He was living large. You know, he was in a house with a big swimming pool. You know, driving Cadillac. He was living pretty well for himself. You know, so when Tago, I've seen this topic now. What you trying to say now for Damos? I think what I see here is gaslighting. The FBA have mastered what called gaslighting. Insult. They want you to respond. Insult. If you're not careful with your emotions, you might, and you live in United States, you might be overwhelmed to say something. They'll say, aha, look at him, see what he said, see what he said. But they already forget about their own xenophobic, about calling Africans all kind of names and names and names and names and names and names. So it's like a crying baby who is insulting his elder one, you know, but he's crying. Hey, you're stupid. Oh, you're mad. Then the other one, oh, you are this, you are that. Like, hey, mama. And their mama is a white woman, and their papa is a white man. Don't get it wrong. These FBA people, they are better with the white. It's like they're telling the Africans, let me suck mama breast, please. Go away. I need attention from my mama alone. It's my mama and papa, it's not your papa. The Africans are like standing by like, whoa, I don't know these people. You know, I just came here to do my own thing. So that's what you're seeing now. They gaslight. Even up to older, sometimes you hear their voice, women of 60-something. Women of, they all act like 5 years old children in this YouTube space. Attacking. It's like this is their new something now. So let me give somebody else space also to also talk, because now that I've been collecting, I'm not saying that most of all the so-called universities or whatever I said, they build whatever it is, they don't know how to run anything. The white man put knowledge. My father said that my father become a principal of a school. They become a head of educational board. In my state, called Bender State at that time, before he died. You understand me? The white man passed educational system towards his head. How to teach, how to become a principal, how to become head of educational board before he left this world. My father would not have known how to do all those method of evaluation, whatever it is of education, at that time. Response, different things that when I started reading my father's books and what he studied, I thought, wow, whoa, okay. I saw some of his books. I picked some of his textbooks. I studied some just on my own, just for playing time. So let's continue with your Black History Month. I'm here to learn from you, Afro Damos.
Thank you. Kedo, you were gonna say something. Kedo, what do you want to add?
Yes, what I wanted to add to this is I don't know. Have you watched the movie Django Unchained?
Yes.
You see how that Samuel Jackson guy, he in that character he was playing in the movie, he was trying to show that he was trying to have proximity to his master, and while he thought that having proximity to his master, when even a black man is free, the Django man that was free, he felt he was better than Django because he felt that having proximity to his master is better. Yes, because he felt that Django, Django is just a free loser. That's why he thought like the Django was a free poor, even though Django was poor, but he was a poor master. But the man now, the house Negro who was having proximity to his master was still a slave. So there are some people who have not gotten over that slave mentality yet. They still want to have proximity to whiteness. They have this thought that that destiny swap. That I saw a particular show of them talking about something called destiny swap. They said maybe it was God that blessed them by sending them to the white man world, and by them having proximity to the white man, they have become a better kind of black. Like they just feel that being there, is like a destiny swap, that kind of blessing. that sort of weird thing,
So,
mediocrity.
so Kedo, when you hear some of the FBA say they came to Liberia and civilized your people, and knowing the real history, what do you make of it?
It was their master civilization that they brought to us. It's not like, if you come from your own country and bring your own civilization, that is another thing. But you brought your master civilization, and it was even your master that civilized you. It never just civilized you, the master flock it into you, because and some of them even came from among the African tribes. There are some tribes that have more advanced culture than others, and others tribes are less advanced. Some of them, a lot of them came from tribes that were not even that great in advance. Some of them came from some barbaric tribes, and their master had to flock those things out of them and bring the European civilization into them, and they brought it to us. So they cannot claim that it is their civilization that they brought to us, because the civilization was not for them. So in short, what I would say is, they brought their master civilization to us. Yes. And they brought us master civilization to, we were civilized though. But our civilization were not as advanced as their master civilization, but we were civilized. We were not bush people. In fact, if you check the library and when you read the Liberian history, you get to know that there were chiefs in Liberia that, for example, there were chiefs in Liberia that were scholars. For they violed people in Liberia. Those were scholars that left the Mali Empire. There were some of those scholars that were even more educated than some Europeans. I'm not making this up. You can go and do your research. So, and those people, they came with their masters, helped them with some advanced weapons, and they came, they attack us. And those people were not having weapon enough. Some of them were not, and some of the other ethnic groups, they were not that exposed enough. So they attack and they conquer us at a certain point in time. But we fought them back again. We have a large level of control now. But is we were civilized before they came to us. We were civilized, but our civilization was not advanced
Yeah,
like their
Kido.
master civilization. Yes.
Yeah, Kido, did
Right.
they
Yes.
bring any civilization at all, to be honest? Or did everything, like, my question is like this. I remember when Afridamas did that video on Liberia, he was showing like airports, some infrastructure there. So I was questioning, like, was it the
Well,
blacks who built
the
that,
white
or
man,
did the
the
whites
white
build it on
man,
their behalf in
the,
order to?
the white American
Which
government
means that the
built.
blacks didn't
The,
Let me
bring
tell
any
you,
which
everything
means that
about
the blacks
Liberia,
didn't bring any civilization
everything
at
about
all, right?
Liberia, everything about Liberia was sponsored by the white man, and it is still sponsored by the white man. Up to now, everything about Liberia is still sponsored by white nationalists. Yes, that's what they did. Everything about Liberia is sponsored by white people. It have nothing to do with them. The only thing is, the white people they were afraid that those people was going to mix with their children, because they never wanted to have a lot of biracial children in our country. They were afraid that people are going to marry their daughters and they are going to mix with them like that, and they were afraid of it. So they said that
wait,
they saw that they were going to fight, like to raise us on in hello.
yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so they had a lot of thoughts on these people. There shouldn't have even been any black America by now, because that said they were the most privileged among among all the slaves that were carried to the western world. They are the most privileged among them all, and the slaves that received the worst punishment were those in the southern part of the Americas, not those in the northern part of the Americas. Yes, and imagine the people even came, and it was their masters among all the masters in the Western Hemisphere. It was their masters, the British, because America was a British colony. So it was the
Yeah, but
British
Kido.
which were their master. It was their
Oh yeah, I was
masters
asking, like,
that stopped that. It was their masters that stopped the slavery. The British, meaning, was the one that were behind the stopping of slavery around the world. And after the masters stopped the slavery, their masters came now and stole our land and brought them on our land, and their master colonized our land on their behalf and brought them there, so that like they did this so that they can just come there and leave that place, so that they and us can just make sense, just be here. Like, but they did it in their name. They
oh,
did it in their name. So they now, they decided to put them in charge, even though it was America. It is America property. You get what I'm trying to say? America stole it. It
oh
is
yeah,
this
yeah,
property.
Kedo,
totally.
you're right, because in 1884, at the Berlin conference, they did invite the United States there on the table, but the United States said they didn't want to, control any territory. I mean, this is word for word, literally what they said. They said, we already have our territory being run by our Negroes, which is Liberia. They said the only thing they need from the Europeans who are controlling African territories, especially the Cape of Good Hope area, like South Africa, those, they said they just want them to allow navigation. Like, don't, just because you control the territory, don't block them from being able to have access for the ships to pass by. They said, we already have our territory and we put our Negroes in charge of it in Liberia.
Yeah,
But
that makes sense
that's what
because
I'm
of how
saying.
large the
I
United
said
States is.
Liberia, even up to now, right? Even up to now, I'm sorry, civilized man, sorry. Even up to now, Liberia is still the property of the United States of America. Even though, yeah, we have a native president now, but Liberia is still in Liberia. And when I say native president, like, what's his name? Joseph Human Boykai. Well,
yeah, no,
Liberia is,
you're right, because that's
yeah,
why
yeah,
you
like,
notice they came to the American troops when Charles Taylor was misbehaving. They sent Marines literally to come to Liberia. You notice they didn't go to Sierra Leone because Sierra Leone is not American property, but
yes, of course.
Liberia is American property. So they went there.
So
And by the way,
they
Charles
Yeah,
Taylor
so
Charles Taylor is FBA. You see what he did over there?
yeah. Charles Taylor did a lot of things
so
here. He did
Kado,
a lot of things here. Yeah.
Would
Yeah,
I
I'm
be
listening.
correct if I said that you guys were unlucky in the sense that you were not colonized by a real colonial power? Like it wasn't actual white people colonizing you. You were
Let me tell
unlucky
you
to
what
them that,
happened.
like,
Let me explain something, right? There's a statement about America. It said that America does things in a way that it don't appear as what it seems like. America, they let them do things in a tricky way sometimes. They'll do it in a way that you wouldn't know. For example, I don't want to give long example, right? Liberia, even if you go on ChatGPT, as was Liberia colonized, they will tell you yes, but in an or unique way. Liberia was not colonized, like, even not just Africa, but all part of the world. Liberia was colonized in a unique way. What happened is
Liberia,
America
Cato,
sent their free slaves as
yes,
black.
Cato.
The America sent their free slaves as free slaves colonists for them, for them, because
yeah,
the
I get
land
that.
America have taken. You understand what I mean, right?
Hold on.
I get that. What I'm saying
Guys,
is, would you have preferred?
hold on, civilized man. Guys, you guys see why we do history, Black History Month? You are learning further than the topic. So, Kedo, you are correct. Continue. Yes, Liberia
Yes.
was in
Yeah.
fact
Yes.
uh colonized. And Kedo, some people say they want to hear you, but they say you're talking fast. Well, Liberians do talk fast, so Nightingale, you might want to listen faster.
All right.
But
So I
continue.
will be slow. I will be slow. I promise I will be slow this time. All right. So here is how it is, right? Liberia, is America sent their free slaves as free slave colonists for them. They came as free slave colonists for America. They came as agents in Africa
I get.
to colonize a particular part of Africa for America. That is what Liberia
Yeah,
is about.
I get
Yes.
what you're saying, and I understand it. The point I'm making is they just dumped a bunch of people who don't build any infrastructure, don't create jobs, don't do anything. If it was real white people, you guys would have like a better airport. You would have like some leftover,
Yeah.
English.
We complain for the same thing in Liberia, even though it's a shameful thing. We say, like some all Liberians say, well, I prefer even white people come here, but we know we are Africans. We don't want even white people to come and take our land. So, but we
Yeah,
always
so
we can even compare the two. We can say if it was even white people,
yeah,
it
so
would
what
have
I'm
been
saying.
better. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
color
it's not that
genetics.
black
See,
people. It's not a matter of inferiority between white and black, right? But when the white people too, they want to
I
always
get
show
that.
the
I get that.
supremacy. So they don't want anything good to come from out of this place to prove that black people are inferior. So when they send their free slave colonists to come and colonize this place for America, they say that we are still going to oppress them so that nothing good can come from out of it.
Yeah,
So
because
Carla likes to say that Liberia, they liberated Liberia, but in reality, they actually robbed you of the opportunity to be colonized
a
by a
foolish
real European
narcissist.
country.
That's all. You said what?
Yeah, I'm saying in reality, the Black Americans robbed you of an opportunity to be colonized by a
They
real
did a lot
European
of bad things.
country.
A
They would
lot
have
of
built
bad things.
railways, roads.
But
You see?
there are some good ones though. There are some good ones. Just how in America you have some good
It
ones in
doesn't matter. They
environment,
still can't build anything.
but a lot of them,
I'm saying even the good ones don't build anything. So why
yeah,
is that?
they all have that. They all have that accomplice. Like they all came as accomplice. So even the ones that pretending as that are coming up with acting as good ones, they are also like accomplice of the thieves as well. Because yeah.
well,
Yeah, so let me go back.
This black unity. I always say this thing. We should preach black African unity, not black unity. Black African unity, because there are
Or
types
rather
of black.
collaboration.
Yeah, Africa is not an all dark skinned people heaven. Africa is not an all dark skinned people heaven. Africa is for the natives of Africa, not an all dark skinned people heaven. So if you are a black African, yes. But if you are a black man and you love your master name so much, you say, "Oh, my great grandfather was the white man flogged my great grandfather and put Smith on him, or Jones, or Woods. So I love it so much. I don't want to change it." If you love it, then go and be with your master.
but
Yes,
Yeah.
go and be.
you don't want the expertise from all the HBCUs, the education.
Believe me, there are a lot of educated Africans on this continent, like even more educated than most of their masters before I even see them.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you, Afridamas. Like, given that the blacks are not building the black community themselves, what exactly are these HBCUs teaching? Because generally, universities are linked to like industries. Like if there's a medical school at the university, there'll generally
Right.
be a hospital right next door, right? Where the nurses and the doctors can go there for practicals. Like here in South Africa, a lot of universities that have mining engineering are close to an area that used to be mineral rich, so that they can just send them directly.
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, they
Yeah,
have
so
plenty of.
then I ask myself, what are they teaching at this HBCUs, given that the blacks are not building their infrastructure,
Well,
their
because
political structure, society?
it's not only black. That's the whole point.
At these universities.
Yeah, no. It's mixed. I mean, what if you're white, you can still go there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
So
can.
they've basically just been integrated into the
Yeah.
general
Sorry, man.
American
Are you guys getting
education.
me now? I had a little connection issue just now. Sorry.
Yeah. No, yeah, white people can go there. Chinese can go there. Whoever can go there.
So the quality of the education is the same as in the other universities.
Yeah, I mean, if the programs, yeah, it's I mean, lately some of those schools have become woke. You don't want to go to the woke ones, but yeah, the quality, is the same.
Some of those schools have become very corrupt.
I heard on the internet that like they have very low graduation rates, like 33%.
Yeah, well, when they started doing the woke thing, but initially, the blacks had a high graduation rate, back then.
But
the low graduation is a new phenomenon.
Afrodamus, because when I start, you said this Black History Month, we have to touch at every aspect of this so-called Black history. You understand me?
Oh, yeah, it's Black History Month. Yes,
that turn against Africans. You understand me? That turn against Africans, especially the West Africans east side, because the FBA are the recent ones now against Africans. You understand me? These FBA people now, They're the recent one now. These so-called ones who are like, way back after diamonds, when Africans started coming, right, to some of this Western world, you know, when they want to train nurses and everything, because Africans from West Africa territory doesn't have the some of this equipment, some of other things, so they will send them to some of all these countries, especially in England. You understand? Early 60s. Some of them came even late 50s, the early 60s, when they started really, to really make an hospital health center to be very, very powerful, so that they can be able to handle. These are nurses now. I'm not talking about medical doctor.
Yeah.
There come the Windrush, the Jamaicans, who were already established in UK at that time. The Africans also did find it funny also at that time also, because the Africans were not really doing this hard labor job. They just came, they came for education, they just study, leave. What the FBA is doing also, that's what the Jamaicans were also doing at that time. Thinking, oh, you people are better than us. You people are better than us. Blah, 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 blah. You people came here after we fought hard. They didn't want us to have have a house and everything there. So the Africans didn't really mind them, because they get to study, go back home. Some of them become nurses and everything. So what I'm trying to say is, we were the last one to actually come to the white man territory, for some certain things. But the Africans they took away have already embedded themselves with the white people mentality, and some of them inherit some of the hate that, whatever they experienced there, they were turning it against the Africans that they came to do their own thing. So what I'm trying to say is, this FBA time will run, and will run like a stream. The Jamaicans did it for years. What I'm scared about, for this FBA not to take it to the level that the Jamaica took it to in UK. You understand me? That they were not only attacking, they were not only dissing them, calling them, they smell, they laugh at them, the way they dress, they make fun out of their name heavily, and they don't even allow them to go to some of their, the Jamaicans already have like us club, or some of they don't even allow to buy things with their mini kind of shop they were having at that time. That these Africans get very, very hard, that people of the African that have to take the pain, started importing some of these things themselves. It took to 90s, right? That's how bad it was. That if you come out as African, then they will jump you, what you call jump, or they will bully you, make fun out of your name heavily. It was in the 90s that some of these Africans said, it's enough. Let us fight. And it was brutal. What I mean, brutal, that means people were deleting on both sides. It happened to be that the Africans come up with the upper hand on them. That's why the Jamaica bow for the Africans at that time in UK. I tell you, 90s. If you ask, there was a guy coming to your show called Quincy, right? Quincy.
Yeah.
Tony Joshua was also kind of like in that era. After the Joshua, do you like Jamaicans? And oh, man. You understand me? Burna Boy was being made fun of. But Burna Boy said he really hated to be African at that time. Even when he was inside, when he came to UK to study. You understand me? Now that the Africans have their own disco club, they have their own supermarket, even employing Jamaicans. You understand me? I don't Jamaica will never get job. The white people, England is a class system. You know where you belong to. Straight up. You go to some what they call cafe there to drink, they'll tell you here is not for you. Straight. Forget this so-called nice thing, what they're doing there. You belong to where you belong to.
Right.
So what I try to say is,
that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen in America.
So no, because you can see what I'm talking about is because why it cannot happen in America is that the blacks are not the other buffer zones there, like the Latinos, who are not the majority minority. You know what I mean? So the Africans have alternative who they want to do business with. But in that side, in the UK, it was never like that. What you see with the FBA now, both the old and the young, they're actually attacking continuously on Twitter, no, not on Facebook, on YouTube, Tether. Even when you bring white people here, they criticize you. Oh, you are a traitor. You are this. I was just checking the white. This is who called herself FBA. She brought a Colombian man who's running as a governor in Florida, and that man started using Tether, calling the other black guy that was running with him that is a Tether. He's not a foundational black American. It's not what I mean to say. It's not a black American. You understand me? And this woman was laughing. So you see, they now want to ally themselves with other group, and that guy himself, his own parents also came from Colombia to the States. So that's why I try to let you understand. Today is not when Africa was already taking the hit. Only that Africans are more resilient if they think the ancestors could be resistance in everything. What do you think the real original ones that they came that look like the ancestors? You think those ones, especially the West Africans, think they would bow down? No, it didn't happen in England. The Africans didn't bow down. When
didn't you see their leader Tariq ran to Senegal?
Yes, I think it's not for vacation. He went there for special treatment. That's just the truth. He didn't go there because he loved Senegal. He went to Senegal to look for alternative treatment for whatever he's having. You understand me? Somebody might direct him to that place to go and take some herbs. Maybe that might help him in some sanity. You have to understand, these people, they are genetically Africans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Show your country colleges, Afridamus. Well, I mean, they do have the colleges there are built, in fact, by the government there. You can look it up. The University of the Gambia. They are built
can I answer?
They are built by the blacks there. So if that answers your question.
Yeah, I would like to add on to what you just to your answer to that guy, right?
Yeah.
So when he's asking this question, what he's trying to say is that you guys don't have any universities at all. Our white belt HBCUs are better than your shithole African colleges anyway, right? That's kind of what he's trying to say.
No, they actually do have universities there.
No, I'm saying he is trying to say this.
Right.
I would like to. I would like to. So this guy should know that the University of Botswana, which was built by black people, by black money, black government, black everything, ranks higher than all the HBCUs except for Howard. Right. You should know that. And the country has only 2 million people.
Yeah.
But they're able to beat all your black universities.
Yes.
You see, like right here. Hold on, let me show him. So he wanted to see. So you see that? That's the, they have the University of the Gambia right here. Yeah. This is strictly built, and all the teachers are Africans. See that? So yeah, If that answer, he says, show it. So you see it. They do have the University of the Gambia. You see the people that put this together. This is strictly African. I mean, there's white guy there, but you get the point.
Yes, I want to say something here. Yeah, African.
Yeah.
I should go ahead now.
Yeah.
Yes, you know, I want to say this for all the Afro descendants people out there. Somebody being biologically related to you doesn't make them your brother or your sister or your father or your uncle or your auntie. There are some people that are biologically related to you, but they are not ready. Let me just stick it to the brother and sister. They are not your brother or your sister. And you see, like even let me just a lot of cultures around the world have made this known. Yes, and I know it's a fact that relatives are supposed to stick together, but sometimes when it's about unity, every time when you see there will always be black sheep among group of people. There will
Right.
always be the wrong the bad set of people among people. So it's good that light unites and they should leave the darkness out and let light unite. Yes. So those that have like minds, let them come together as one. So and Africans should unite. When I say unite, it's not just FBA alone. There are some other people that call themselves that have for foreign identity attached to themselves. They are not FBA, but they also have that pride and want to attach themselves to that foreign identity and they want us to unite. Black Americans, for example, you cannot be a Black American and you don't claim your African ancestry and you say that you want us to unite. Unite on what? You cannot be a Jamaican. You don't claim your African ancestry. You want us to unite. Unite on what? You cannot be a Brazilian and you black Brazilian, you want us to unite, but you don't claim your African ancestry. Unite on what? So I want to unite with somebody who is African first. I'm not saying that the person cannot have another nationality. You can be an American, you can be a person from any of the Caribbean nations, from Jamaica or India or Russia and Greece, Britain, whatsoever it is. But you should be African first. Then I will unite with you as my brother of the land. Like son, or there I can kind of say, yeah, the sons and daughters of the soul are now, like are united, even though they are in different parts of the world. But if like that's one of the major problems among us around the world. That's one of the major problems because you go and see just because you leave Africa, you go to the US or the UK, you see someone that look like like you. It doesn't mean that person is your brother. That person might have different. And one thing too is you should not get upset about it when somebody do not want to have anybody who truly knows their value and don't have low self-esteem. They will now feel certain way when people don't want to be associated with them. No,
Yeah.
if you truly yes, it's good. Like, yes, and people, like even when I was schooling, right? Like they say, like I used to always have this thought that like my friends I don't worry about who come into my life. I only worry about
I know.
like those I want to move along with me. We move together. And it's not like I'm this cheap kind of person. Anybody will just come to me. No, but I will attach value to myself so that when you disrespect me and come in, I will know whether to accept you back again or not, or I will know how to put terms and conditions so that next time you come into me, you can value your friendship with me.
Right. Ola, look at what Nat Turner wrote. He said, Trump just gave HBCUs permanent funding. Isn't he proving my point? If the white Ola, you see that?
Yes, you hearing me?
Uh-huh.
You okay? After that, let me just tell you this. You see, where Ghana said they should they should come back home, right?
Yeah.
That's why I started suspecting that a lot of spies will follow them up. A lot of spies will follow them up.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you mean there's a lot of spies there?
Yes. What you should remember, why is it that in the 60s and early 70s, most African leaders at that time, those freedom fighters that liberate Africa to have their independence, why did they refuse to have Black Americans as an ambassador to their country to unite, that United States? They refuse. They refuse. There's a reason why those people refused at that time. You see, even when they were coming to promote this Pan-Africanism at that time, even Malcolm X and the other guy, they were already knowing that these Negroes, some of them are not actually genuine, because they have already studied them at that time, that they are sitting there from a mission. This unity is a bubble. And guess what? Kuruma was right. Tanzania refused at that time Black America to be Julius Nyerere refused America to send a Black Negro to his country as an ambassador. Then they were trying to bring one to Ghana. I think Kuruma refused. He bounced back. At the end of the day, then later in the 90s, late 80s, what did they do also? They sent a Black American woman to study J.J. Rollins. Only that she did succeed at that time. So these Negroes you see never actually have emotional connection to what they try to say to us or scam us to believe that we are one, that they are B1 or B2. It's a game.
You don't believe in B1?
No, not at all. It's a game. That's why our elders who ruled at that time, or who just fought for independence at that time, refused these people, because some of these elders were already in the United States. They studied the history and they saw a lot of betrayal at that time. And they cannot lose guard, allow, after ditching the British, somebody will come from the back door and have covered them up. You know what I mean? They did all this until 1970. Muhammad Ali fight in Congo was a stage.
Yeah, because Ola, think about it. They said Liberia was independent in 1840 or so. So how come the blacks did not fight to help? Like Sierra Leone was next door, Guinea, all that. Why didn't they collaborate with other Africans to help those people be independent until Kwame Nkrumah, succeeded in 1958? Kwame Nkrumah and the other Africans in Nigeria and other places got together to make this happen. How come that didn't happen with the people in Liberia?
Because they cannot do it. Because they are master at that time.
It was a colony.
Yeah, it was a colony. They themselves were enjoying the tea and the royal biscuit with royal stamp on top, in England. So they were going there to drink tea. Even the British saw them as far more civilized. Mean to say, these are the ones they're using to deal with the other ones there. One hand they're drinking tea. One hand they're drinking tea with digestive biscuit with the Queen. Then in the other hand, they'll come and tell some of these African leaders who were fighting that we're on your side. You understand me? And it was just all lie. Check when Sierra Leone.
So there was no B1.
No, there was not B1. There was not B1. If you check when Sierra Leone revolt, right? When Sierra Leone revolt, the British could not conquer the Sierra Leoneans at that time because of the jungle, or that the British could not, the kind of fight the Sierra Leoneans were fighting at that time, guerrilla tactics. Check who they want to bring the Caribbeans to come and fight the Sierra Leoneans, Africans at that time. You know what I mean? So they were also like that. Only that they were on the ground, and the United States is their part. If you check throughout their rule, and check when Doe come to power. What happened? This guy that was in power at that time, that movie star guy, Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan didn't like it at all. He was not impressed with the dude at all because he was not daddy's son. They look at him as, okay, they just asked him, are you going to be in line, fall in line? I think some of those was a little bit, it was different. It was different. And guess what happened later?
Samuel Doe, he waited, he took the money and he gave them the middle finger. So that's why Samuel Doe had to die. Yeah. That's what, if you read, that's what happened. Like they said Samuel Doe, they didn't have a choice. They had to give him money, but he wasn't following the program. So that's why Samuel
Doe, he wasn't following the program.
He had to be KILL.
Where? So Samuel Doe was a total guy. Samuel Doe is not the one crying for daddy to come and sleep in the special bed, master bedroom. Hot water is ready. Come and take shower, daddy. So they didn't like him. So it's a native, And now this native they have already been dealt with a lot by these American Liberians. So what happened? Out of the blue, Charles Taylor could free from American prison and land somewhere. Then they allow him to just come into the country, become a very brutal guy.
Yeah, that's true. It's still a mystery how Charles Taylor escaped from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it was all. Yeah. Then the American embassy was closed at that time. They didn't do nothing, right? Then when they take Charles Taylor alone cannot run this program. They now brought Prince Yemi Johnson. They brought Prince Yemi Johnson. How they brought Prince Yemi Johnson? Then I found that ECOMOG were supporting Doe to be in power, right? They want Doe to be in power, and being Doe be in power, they now brought another rebel to overwhelm the ECOMOG soldiers. From nowhere, Johnson and Taylor were having an alliance, together,
right?
And it baffled the all of them. The Nigerian troops, the Ghana troops, the Guinea troops that was there, they were all baffled. What is this? And they were still trying to keep peace until there was a loophole. They did not take care of a Doe somewhere by Prince Yemi Johnson. Then Taylor was still very brutal. Taylor dealt with Nigerian troops, big time. And Nigerians they were looking for him to teach him a lesson. Then they were backing, shadow hands were backing Taylor. Until what happened is this, because I'm not, for Kala sometimes cause problems. So I tell Kala, you must have to respect where Liberia today is. These people fought a brutal war. Don't be bringing this mentality and all this. Kala will never listen. He still come with this kind of mentality. His ancestors brought civilization. I said, quiet, my man. If you know where this country, you're from the States, you come to, these people fought hard for their life. You understand me? And guess what? The people that are free Liberia, Taylor was not ready to go. It was the native themselves, that led that rebel group that picked from the inner land. They were coming straight. I saw that in TV. These American Liberian women, they were going to Ghana to beg. They were holding me there. They were saying something, they will go naked if Chacholo didn't leave, that they cannot, that Chacholo is putting them in danger. Those guys were already in Moreover. The American government were trying to bribe them. It didn't work. That's how Liberia freed themselves. The Obasanjo came and asked Taylor to be into the plane, because we didn't trust him. We already used one to look at him. That's why they took him to one mansion in Calabar there. They tried to escape again. Then they caught him. before they took him to the other side. So what I'm trying to say that FBA, like Americans that came to, black Americans that came to Liberia, was a bad news. Bad news. We saw these people that came almost 200 something years ago. We saw what they did. Kedo, you can help me out of this thing. It's your country.
Yes, you know, they came as agents to manage America's property. We know, we all know that. So it's not something that, you know, it's just that they keep bringing the same narrative, saying the same thing that, oh, you know, this something right now. I will get back on the stream. I'm coming.
Okay. So the do for South Africa, do you have anything to say, please?
With regards to the Liberia situation, or
Yeah, but where are you from? South Africa or Botswana?
South Africa.
Okay.
With regards to what, the Liberia?
Yeah, we talk about it because, okay, let me ask you something, my guy.
Okay.
Now they're coming to South Africa, right?
Yeah.
They're coming to South Africa now, right? They say South Africa is their new home, which is good. How are you people seeing them in South Africa?
Okay, so let me explain in detail what's kind of happening here. So when they come here, they open up these YouTube channels, right? Where they say that they find a new home, blah, 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 right? We are the same, we have a similar history. They tell us stuff like this, right? So what happens is, if you try to criticize them, if you challenge their narrative, they will either delete your comment or block you. Okay. So if you were to go into their YouTube channels, you're not going to see any opposition to their theories and opinions. However, if you go to their same page on TikTok, 95% of the comments are telling them to get out of here. This is not your home. Go back where you came from. They're getting like a very strong negative reaction on TikTok because they can't delete people's comments. So based on that, given that YouTube, there are less people watching, and TikTok, you have way more people watching, it's safe to say that the general opinion of the South Africans is reflected by the TikTok comments instead of the YouTube comments. So I'm going to say that people don't want them here.
Okay. Let me read this super chat. St. James, thank you for the super chat. He said, Afridamus, thanks for bringing this higher education on this beautiful Saturday. Thank you so very much. You know, there is plenty of topics coming, you know, we want to make sure, you know, as you know, it's tradition over here to celebrate Black History Month. Thank you for the super chat here. Let me give you an applause here for the super chat. Yeah, that's right. All right. So guys, let's while you're on it, let's do our closing statements so that you know, we can reserve the rest for the next show. Go ahead.
Okay, let me go.
Oh, yeah, let me actually answer you first, and then I'll do my closing statement and then disappear. So, Kidola, something I also discovered about these people, the more I look into them, 99% of them are actually here illegally, but people don't suspect it because they're coming from a rich country, so it doesn't click that someone would leave a rich country like America, move here illegally. But actually, 99% of those people are here illegally. So my closing statements with regards to the original topic, yeah, it's something that I always suspected. You just basically confirmed what I had always suspected. So now I'm wondering, like, is there any institution that these people have built at all? Like,
good question. Good question. Yeah. All right. So okay.
This guy is very smart.
Yeah, we'll let the blacks, answer that. Yeah, go ahead. Uh, is that it, civilized man?
Yeah, that's pretty much it on this topic. I don't have
All
much to
right.
say.
Thank you for coming, and I hope to see you on the next one. All right. Thank you. All right. Go ahead, Ola.
After I think this is really good education. You brought the image because if me myself, I didn't know white people are because when they said black universities, I thought
Yeah.
it was being founded by some of the black intellectuals. But
No, I
now
mean,
I'm not
Ola,
seeing.
Ola, I mean, because you look at it, the white people, they're like, oh, they feel bad. Like, oh, you know, nothing is there. They're like, okay, let's just build this and say, give it to the blacks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
right now they now decide. They said they discovered the
Because
water.
Ola, they would feel bad, like you went all the way to Africa. You picked these people up, you defeated them, put them in plantation, then you free them and they have nothing to show for. So that would be so inhumane. So some of the whites
Yeah.
are like, nah, man, we can't do that. We gotta give the blacks something. So that's what they did.
Okay. After that
Yeah.
was I was
Yeah.
because it's good you brought this kind of history because I was even asking my wife who actually discovered water system toilet, the toilet bowl,
Yeah.
because they were showing that they discovered they're the finder of those things,
Who?
right?
The blacks?
Yeah, the FBA said that water system bowl, they're the one that discovered it.
Yeah.
They said they're the one that discovered the light, bulb,
No.
all this light. I asked my wife, so she was looking at me like, what? I like, please, can you tell me, can you look, because I don't want to look at it for myself, not to shout it. Can you help me just Google up who actually discovered this bulb light or this electricity?
Yeah.
It was total white man. You understand me? What they said they discovered is not them. If you check the name of the people there and who they are and how they discover this water system and how they use the Roma system, right, to not take it to this level what the water is about today. So I was like, okay, so
They
I
they
understand.
already had aqueducts and a lot of inventions during the Roman Empire.
During the
Way
Roman
before.
time,
Yeah. So
yes, that's what my wife people told me. Said a lot of teams already only that they just develop it more and
right.
more and more and more.
Hmm.
Drainage system was already be developed by the Romans. They just start, you know, trying to make it more and more. So that's what I like these black people to understand. The white people that build a lot of things never actually boast about what they're doing or the skyscrapers or whatever they discovered. Their descendants are far more quiet and live by life day to day. You understand me? But they do not develop nothing. They're the one telling us that they live on a special way, that they are special. How about the white that can just go on and live underground? Anywhere you put them, they will just enjoy it. Let's just stand by the truth. Don't bend history. No, nothing like bending history. That's just what I
Thank
want to say for Diamonds.
thank
You
you,
know?
Ola, for coming.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right. Zendia, your last statements. Zantia.
Yes, Afridamus,
Yes.
we as, let me say, from the African continent, we must decide whether we want to go back as to where we're coming from, or we want to, can I say, assimilate with the West.
Right.
We must make a decision because we are quite confused. We are quite,
That would be a good topic to actually bring, because I would want to hear everybody. But yeah, you're making a good point. I always talk about that here. And they're like, oh, Afridamos is promoting colonization. But yeah.
Yeah, we must decide as to where we want to go, where we want to be, so that we stop this confusion of us on the continent. We are only harming ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we must decide at the end of the day if we want to evaluate us, at what standard we are going to evaluate us.
It has to be a high standard according to what we see around the world in advanced
Yes.
places. But thank you
Yes.
very much, Zantia, for
Keep up
coming.
the good work.
Thank
Keep
you.
up
And
the good work.
make sure you come back again, okay?
No. I'm my notifications is on.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Keep well.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, Kato, you got the last word on the floor.
Yes, Afrodamus. Before I say my last word, I want to say that we need you and the Marquette. Do you know Marquette?
Marquette.
Yeah. He have this he have a show on YouTube, he have a group called The Sin and the Sinners.
Oh, I
Marquette.
think someone has sent me his video before. I've seen some of his clips. Okay, he
Yeah, that
talked
guy
about
is-
okay.
yeah, he's very disrespectful towards black Africans. He's very disrespectful. So and a lot of Africans have been talking that the right person to debate with him is you. Yeah. So we really like to have an Afrodamus and a Marquette. But it's about time that our that everyone in the world get to understand that people need to seek the truth over their ego. It's not just for those who are not informed about certain things. It's not just about the black diaspora alone. No, everybody need to choose they need to choose the truth over their ego, because if you don't choose the truth over your ego, you are going to get shame in the end, because later people are going to discover that you are fake and it's going to be bad.
The
So
truth shall set you free.
yes.
All right. Thank you, Kato, for coming. And don't allow the blacks to come and colonize you again.
No, trust me, we are now, our eyes are now open. So they try it. You are even more than some of their. We are even more than some of their masters. So how can that happen?
All right. Thank you, Kato.
All right.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the show. I hope you guys enjoyed this Black History Month lesson on the HBCUs. And I'll be sure to bring a lot more so that, basically is to learn, to get the real history. As you can see, just like Pastor Manning said, if Jesus is black, he said he don't want to go to heaven because that means heaven would be a ghetto and people would be shooting at each other, stealing, breaking into stores. And he said he's had enough of that here on earth. So he said, if Jesus is black, count him out. So I don't know what you make of that. But as you can see, the HBCUs, when the FBA start telling you, we built it, we brought you Africans into it, let them know, no. Give credit to the white people that built it and that created it, built it, and came up with the curriculum. Nothing wrong with accepting history, and reality. And, that's what would set you free. Only the truth shall set you free. Your ego will only destroy you. All right. So feel free to leave your comments, later on. Those of you that are going to be watching later, don't forget to, leave your comments, and don't cry, because I know some of you, when you see this would be your first reaction. That's not the purpose of the show, but the purpose is to, get you to learn. So I will see you guys on the next one. And
Lend thy ears to the Afridamers. Pay attention to the Afridamers. The true Saninke warrior. Natural is his intelligence. As a true professor. Solution to brainwash diseases. Sit back, relax, and hear the wisdom. Afridamas will heal your minds. Sit back, reflect, you'll find no objection. Afridamas will clear your doubts here. Always log on to the Afridamas. Lend thy ears to the Afridamas. Is the truth and no doubt the Saninke warrior.